Bonjour et bienvenue sur le site champagnejayne.com. G'day, I'm Champagne Jayne. I help you create fabulous experiences with champagne through events, education, tours and consulting. Welcome to another edition of Champagne Jayne TV. Today we're going to talk about how to open and serve a bottle of champagne. A bottle of champagne can be quite a dangerous thing, so it's quite important to follow some very simple tips and tricks on how you should open this bottle. Firstly, when you're in company, wipe down the bottle, always show the bottle to your friends. Show the people what they're going to be drinking. Then imagine that inside here, you've got 49 million bubbles. Maurice Chandon actually paid a professor, a scientist, to investigate and record how many bubbles there are in a bottle of champagne. So that's an impressive amount, and that's due to all of the carbon dioxide that's dissolved in the wine. So if you think about it like this, the pressure inside this bottle is the equivalent of the pressure inside the tyre of a London double-decker bus. So if you were to just rip the top off, the cork off, it would actually fly out at about anywhere between 90 to 100 kilometres an hour. So very basic principles. Keep your bottle on a steady surface. Always hold your thumb on the top. Look for the indentation in the label here, in the foil, which allows you to unwrap it. Off in one go. Then we come to the cage, in French called le muselet. This was a contraption invented by Adolphe Jackson in the middle of the 19th century, and the idea was it was to hold the cork in place. So you open it, you unscrew it 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then very carefully, keeping your thumb on top of the cork, you turn the bottle, not the cork, just like this. You allow the cork out slightly, easily and gradually, and you don't waste any of the precious nectar inside. So that's tip number 1. Then when it actually comes to pouring your champagne, put your thumb in the punt so you can hold it nice and easily, and pour, like so. You pour a little drop in first to allow some of the carbon dioxide to escape, and then you come back. As you can see, I've got 5 different glasses in front of me here. I'm going to tell you about them in just a second. I pour a little drop, and I come back. Gosh, it's jolly tempting to drink this right now, but I'm just going to tell you about these glasses. This is the classic champagne glass. It's called La Coupe. Legend has it that this glass was modelled on the breasts of Marie Antoinette, the Queen of Louis XVI. And of course, if you turn the coupe like that, you can see where that idea comes from. So it was originally made in de Sèvres porcelain, and this was very popular in the 18th and the 19th century because, of course, it allows you to see the colour of the champagne. It's beautiful. But as you can see, the bubbles are evaporating really quickly. Now, another form of glass that was used certainly in the early centuries and also now as a modern day glass is this form here. This allows a little punt at the bottom here. So back in the 17th and 18th century, these glasses were used because the sediment from the wine, the dead yeast cells before they were clarified, would actually collect in the bottom, and once you drunk the champagne, you could turn the glass upside down. Now the modern classic interpretation of a flute is this one here. This is by Riedel. This is actually a flute with a flat bottom, so it's actually good for picnicking. And this allows the aromas to concentrate in the glass, and obviously it's a pretty good way to showcase the bubbles as well. Now if you're actually drinking a Prestige Cuvée champagne, this is the glass I would recommend. This is the Prestige Cuvée from Riedel. As you can see, it's got a wider bowl, so it's actually all about concentrating those flavours further. But the glass that I like myself as an everyday glass is the tulip shape. This one's actually a glass given to me by Veuve Clicquot. As you can see, it has the flute shape, but because of the wider bowl and then the tapering at the top, it's absolutely fantastic for concentrating all of those delicious apricot and vanilla and all the wonderful, wonderful things you get out of a bottle of champagne. But whichever glass you choose, there's always a good reason to enjoy champagne. Cheers!